Okay, no no, nhớ trong này nó cũng có Stanley Town, tua cũng trong Sacramento, California tua. Tại cái mi ta tập cũng ta tập sẽ nó do lu courthouse, lu chế cha courthouse cũng nhớ cho lu do Varica, Siskiyou County, okay. So ta sẽ cũng tôi sẽ là này tôi sẽ tự cứ một lúc bây hoa giờ Xiong là giờ Xiong, bây giờ từ giờ Xiong là nhớ cho nó vì nếu tôi nhớ tàu bên đâu cứ học đi phụ bên nó, nếu tôi nhớ tàu bên đâu cho nên nó là nó chỉ mà là chỉ cần nó thì chỉ cần họ nếu tôi nhớ được nó giờ lại cứ tôi vào chơi nếu tôi cho bên mong vì cho họ luôn trong là nó có sai chỉ tàu mong số nhà lang là giờ hấp thở hấp lọ là giờ bao gồm Asia nó chỉ bao mua giờ tôi nên là nó sẽ cho bao tô lao tê xử lý bao tô cho ba tên đấy thì是nếu ta cho đi cho tôi nên tôi cho ba này nữa mong nhục bây giờ đi bao % tại cho tôi nên là sựส่วนจงอย่าจ่อเล่าเลยจ่อหรือไฮนี่พวกเจ้าเลยทำไมอ่ะเจตนาเนาะพวกจงฟื้นอเมริกาเนาะพวกจีพูดเล่จะจะมองในนั้นสิแต่ในแต่พวกจีมุ่งหัวตัวตัวกู้เงี้ยพวกที่วันที่เจจะป้าพวกตัวจีมุ่งอีตัวมองในนั้นตัวเลยฮะตัวเลยฮะนั่นแหละโอเคเจจะเล่นแต่จะใส่ตัวยันในนั้นอยู่เก่งจังจริงvà chỉ sẽ tại vì trong mong số thời sự thay sự ba hay bây giờ tàu tại tự kỷ dàn thì trở lên được tự kỷ chơi, ok? Nhớ chưa?
My name is Zuer Xiong. I'm here to commit a form of non-violent protest. Actually, one of the most extreme forms of non-violent protest, because our situation in Siskiyou County has gotten extreme. We lost the Hmong brother out here. Somebody I've never met. I don't even know his name, but I know he suffered because Siskiyou County local government, the Board of Supervisors and the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office, ran by Sheriff LaRue, has escalated tensions between our community, our very peaceful community, with the rest of the community around us. That's a predominantly Asian community being assailed by a predominantly white community that's surrounding us, blockading us, and besieging us. I'm here today to show them that we really care and love for our people. This Hmong brother, he lost his life. He lost his life because when the lava fire came to our community, it was up to us to protect it. It was up to us to protect it because this whole year has been the local government assaulting our water rights. They've been galvanizing the local community, encouraging, hell, maybe even unofficially endorsing locals to attack us via mass arson, via spying, trespassing on private roads. Our subdivision is a private subdivision, theft, and just even volunteers. They've recruited white supremacist, militant, vigilante volunteers to come onto our private properties and destroy private properties on there. So this whole year has been nothing but extreme government tyrannical overreach based upon discrimination on an Asian community. If you go look at the water ban and you go look at the ordinance bans water in a specific geographical location with specific roads actually named. And if you go look at the map, all those roads encircle the predominantly Asian community here. Hmong, Chinese, Cambodian, Laotian. We have a few Latinos in there and a few white people in there. But our environment and our community has been besieged by the local government. And they've been threatening us with mass arson. Not the government, but locals. And you can actually go to the sheriff's Facebook page and you can see that there have been comments, Facebook comments, about them being arsonists and about how they can burn us out, and Siskiyou County Sheriff never investigated. So we knew then. If you go on YouTube, we had a protest and I had a speech a few months ago, and we predicted everything that would happen, happened, and it all happened. We said that once they turned off our water, they would assail us via fire, and then they would shoot us dead in the street. All of that happened within the same week. Once the lava fire came, our brother knew that these people would not save our property, they would not save our community, they would not save our people. We knew that because they watched us fight the fire. They stood there, they laughed, they watched us fight the fire. They knew we had no water. They took most of our water trucks. They assailed our water truck drivers. They attacked us for anything that was over more than 7 showers worth of water, 100 gallons of water. They hunted us down like animals. This is a real water war, and it culminated in a real fatality on our side. And all we ever did was mind our own business and help the economy grow in Siskiyou County. And now we have a Hmong brother that's dead. We had a fire that ravaged our community, a fire that we have never seen before in our entire lives. This was fire straight from hell. And they made us fight that fire with buckets, with shovels, with dirt, with hands, with sandals, with Crocs. And they lied about it. They knew while we were fighting that fire, LaRue and the Siskiyou County local government could spread propaganda faster than that wildfire could ever spread. If you go look at the official news articles and the official interviews, Sheriff LaRue said, we got in their way, we threw rocks at CAL FIRE, we shot at their trucks, we were a general nuisance. But the reality was that we were in there fighting for our community, and they watched. They watched us fight, and then in the public eye, they lied about it. They propagandized who we were as a people. That is why I'm here. I'm here for justice for my brother because, let's face it, the justice for my brother is the justice for a fatality in a war that has been declared on us. A war where they determined that we are the immoral enemy. Even though they are the ones who assailed us, they are the ones who attacked our water rights. And let me tell you something. You want to talk about illegal cannabis? You want to talk about water rights? We represent 2% of the cannabis grow in the county. Yet we are the ones who, with the water rights being assailed. And Siskiyou County has a racist history against Asian Americans. 100 years ago, there was a Chinatown. That Chinatown burned down. You can go look at the mural, you can go look at the memorial. They have a memorial for Chinatown that burned down 100 years ago. You're telling me that that was an accident too? Chinatown burned down while everything stays safe? They're doing the same thing they did to us 100 years ago. They're trying to burn us out. That is why I'm going on hunger strike. Because I know as Hmong people, as illiterate, refugee, jungle Asians, we have no voice, we have no platform, we have no political power, we have no money. Nobody cares about our plight. That is why I will show them what the new Hmong people are. My young people, they elected me as a leader. And as a leader, I am powerless, I have no money, I have no political clout, I have no media contacts. The only thing I have is the ability to sacrifice myself to get their message across, to get their voice heard, and to get the truth heard. The truth that these people showed such bravery, such courage in the face of literal hellfire, and they lied about it. They lied about it so that they could continue calling us the enemy, they could continue calling us immoral. They call us immoral when they lie. You go watch those interviews, you can tell but just by the body language that this person is a liar. You talk to me, you look at me right now and you say, am I lying? This guy looks like a liar? With this passion, the ability to go on hunger strike and die for my people just to get the truth out of their courage and bravery and their love for their people and their community. I have never felt such love and such togetherness with my Hmong people than the day I came to Siskiyou County and I joined their community. That is why all I can do as a leader, all I can do as a person with intelligence and the ability to articulate our thoughts is to sacrifice for them. So you guys want to ask, how long am I going to stay here? I'm going to stay here until our demands are met or until I die. Until I starve to death in front of an American courthouse, in front of a grandiose, extravagant, multi-million-dollar courthouse, while the locals here, it doesn't matter the locals, white, Caucasian, Asian, it doesn't matter. They suffer here too. So let me tell you, why is the community, why is the government spending tens of millions of dollars on a new courthouse when we have people here, poor people, Caucasian, Asian, every types of people suffering, unable to even afford a small car bill, while they have to go to this very courthouse, cost tens of millions of dollars to even discuss certain things like tickets, restraining orders, stuff that they don't even have money for. Millions and millions of dollars here. And I found out that this place has a history of injustice, not just against Asian people, but against people who are poor and powerless. This place seems like it's run by an oligarchy. And I came here, and they said, you came at the worst possible time. You came when they declared war. And I said to them, I don't think so. I think I came at the right time. I came at the exact time I was supposed to come. So I have demands. We demand a federal special outside investigation of the shooting death of our brother. We demand a special federal investigation of Sheriff LaRue and the border supervisors and how they have been galvanizing and encouraging war against our community. We demand that the 4 individuals who shot our brother is held accountable. If the investigation finds that their shooting was unwarranted, we demand justice the way we found justice in Minnesota for George Floyd. And I want them to come here and say, we need new leadership, because new leadership will mean a new way of life, a new community, not just protection and safety for our community, not just protection and safety for the white and poor community, but also protection for our deputies, our officers. There's good people here. I've met them. They're okay. They're good people. But, you know, it's always us versus them. They want to make it us versus them instead of us and them. So those are my demands. I want a federal investigation of the shooting death of our brother. I want a federal investigation on the corruption and government overreach by Sheriff LaRue and his Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office and the border supervisors. I want a special investigation on the volunteers that the sheriff uses to go on our private properties and our private roads. Vigilante white supremacist volunteer groups from even out of state. We have seen license plates from Washington and Oregon. And finally, I demand a reversal of this tyrannical water ban on our community and only our community. Do you people understand? American justice system is based on precedent. If they can stop water from a specific geographical location to a specific ethnic minority community over water against a completely different criminal enterprise, they can do that to anybody across the country. They can go to Milwaukee, they can go to St. Paul, they can go to Minneapolis, they can go to Sacramento, and they can go to your neighborhood and say, hey, we know some people do meth here. We know some people do illegal activities here. So what we're going to do is do a blanket ban on water here, because water is essential for life. And if we ban water against these meth heads or these criminals, then they can't survive with their criminal enterprise. That sounds terrible to you, doesn't it? That is a tyrannical, despotic, dystopian future. This is a water war, and that water war culminated into the death of our brother, the execution of one of our Hmong brothers. And that is why I'm here, and I am saying, I don't care what you say. You can't do anything to me. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to suffer for my people. They made me into a leader, and all I can do is show them that my own salvation is the self-sacrifice for the salvation of people who depend on me. And that is what I'm doing here. So if our demands aren't met, then they will see me die in front of an American courthouse. And like I said earlier, if they let me die, we know the soul of America is dead, and the only thing to do with the corpse of America is to burn it into its ashes. And that is a future I do not want. Excuse me. That is why, because I feel so angry, and I know that all of us as human beings have the potential for violence, I will instead turn that violence against myself via this hunger strike to give us one more chance to save us as a whole people. Not just Hmong people, not just Asian people, not just Siskiyou County, as an entire group of people. Because that is what we have all been wanting for a few years now. True leadership. Leadership that will say, your child is starving, my child is starving, but your child has food in his mouth. I'm going to take that food from your child's mouth and give it to my child. New leadership is, I see that your child is struggling. I see that your child is starving, but we have no food. As a leader, I will give you my own flesh so that your child may sustain himself or herself. And that is why I'm here. So I will tell you now, our demands are not met. You will see my corpse here in 60 to 70 days. Thank you.
What do you tell your people, the Hmong people at home or at around these countries?
We are the new Hmong people. This is what it means to be Hmong. Whenever, cities, I live in Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Sacramento, wherever you want to go. I've never seen Hmong people Shiru and Shibang the way I see the people in Siskiyou County. You don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea how much I could love my people and my community the day I came to Siskiyou County. That's what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for a future where all people, including our Hmong people, all we do is love and help and love. That is it. That is the main message here. That is why I'm on a hunger strike, to show you that I love you and I will help you the best way I can, and I will die to help you because I love you. My people, Hmong, Asian, American, people. Unrecognized subdivision in California. An unrecognized subdivision in California has the right to write up a charter of laws and to turn itself into a charter city. Men Hmong ngao ta chia. Be chi osa la nya sa. Be osa so be lai kho take care for Hmong ha Asian American ha to ne that she lu ha she pa be nya sa. And ku ha me ta ku yen chi kla me ya ku kla me okay ku no ono. Ku ha ta chu me. I am telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth, and like all the other great people who went on famines or who went on hunger strikes before me and the people on famines, there will be demons to come to tempt and taunt me. There will be people who come and lie about me. Somebody just said that I already started eating food even though I was just wiping my mouth with the cloth. These people will try to discredit us in order to keep us in the light of immorality and of evil. But we know that better. A lot of these people, they come to me and they say, we're the silent majority. Well, if you're the silent majority, then you're a silent majority of hate. But if you know Hmong people, we fought a secret war. So if you have a silent majority of hate, behind me is a secret army of love. Let's see who wins.
How many days have you been here?
I've been here, this is my day 3, but I haven't eaten for 4 days. I'm really tired, but not because of the hunger strike, but because the week before our hunger strike, like I said, we were in our vista, we were in our subdivision, fighting the lava fire, the biggest fire in California this year so far. We were fighting it, like I said, with buckets, with shovels, with crocs, with sandals. We fought it day and night, because every time we fought it, the fire would reignite. So I'm very tired, I'm very exhausted.
Have you eat anything or drink any water?
I drink water, and I'm not on a dry hunger strike because it's very hot here. If I'm on a dry hunger strike and I don't drink any fluids with electrolytes, I would pass out and die within a couple days. And that would lessen the effect of what I'm doing here. But in terms of solid foods, I have not touched a single grain of rice for 4 days. I haven't had any kind of smoothies, no juices, just pure electrolytes with water, watered down Gatorade. I don't want any sugar, but some of these things inevitably come with sugar. Otherwise, my very dear friends, they showed me a diet called the snake diet, where you just pour in some salt and some potassium and water, and you just drink it so that you have electrolytes. Because when I was fighting the fire, I didn't have any electrolytes, and I already knew the effects. I was dizzy, I fainted a little, I couldn't even breathe. I felt like no matter what I did, I stayed hot, and then I felt tingling all over my body, and I can't let that happen because I have to keep my mind, I have to keep cognizant, and I have to keep my wits about me.
If anyone bring you food, can you eat it?
Never. People have been wanting to bring me food. They say, hey, just eat a little bit of food, and I said, no. If I eat a little bit of food, I know I ate a little bit of food. And that will weaken me, and that will weaken my resolve, and I refuse to weaken my resolve because it's not about me. It's about our fallen brother, and it's about the way our community has been treated this whole year. So I refuse to eat a single grain of rice. I refuse to eat a single sesame seed. So I ask my people, do not bring me food. If you want to eat, you have to go over there and eat, because they will propagandize that, and they will say, this guy isn't serious. This guy is eating while nobody's watching. So I want to tell my people, I know you care about me. I know you love me. I know as Hmong people, you guys don't want any of us to starve, because all we've ever had is food. But that is why I'm telling you, we are the new leadership. We are the new Hmong people. Do not sabotage me by bringing any food and by tempting me. The demons are supposed to come and tempt and taunt, not the angels.
Is there any police or sheriff's department or anyone, the county, coming asking you to go home or take you to jail?
Never, because they respect my constitutional rights, and they understand I know my constitutional rights. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it non-violently. I'm doing it in a public place. We try. We don't block public access ways. We don't block this. We've been informed nicely. I do know that during a form of protest, they can stop it if we block entryways, if we incite violence with speech that might cause disruption immediately. And we're trying to do it the right way. And if we don't get what we want the right way, They checked my vitals, my blood pressure. My blood pressure is a little high. It's 150 over 100. I'll admit that to you. And my temperature is almost 102, but I've been in the heat all day. Obviously, I'm under a lot of stress. But in terms of food, never. I even told some of my young brothers here, I will not eat a single grain of rice until we get what was ours, or unless I die, and I will refuse any sort of force feeding. I will refuse any sort of court order to give me subsistence because it is my right to do this. So no, if Red Cross comes, I refuse anything like that. Contractors are coming and put up a sign, so I'll determine where I'm at Saturday, maybe on the sidewalk, maybe I'll just walk around town the way Jesus walked around the desert. I don't want money, I don't want fame, I don't want anything from you guys but to love and to help each other. And I'm going on a hunger strike to prove you guys that I mean what I say. Because I'm preparing to die in 60, 70 days. I won't be here to see the future, but what's the most cliche thing? Wise men plant trees that they will never enjoy the shade. That's what. If you want to discredit me, come talk to me, I'll allow it to, you know. It doesn't matter to me because the truth is the truth is the truth.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.